Good morning, students. So today we are going to discuss next two colligative properties: depression and freezing point and osmotic pressure. Now first of all, depression of freezing point. Now see, from the name itself, what is known to us, that freezing point, whatever is the value of freezing point for a particular solution that gets depressed, means we are talking about the properties of a solution in which non-volatile solute is added to a volatile solvent. Now this means when the solution is prepared, then solution's freezing point will be less than the pure solvent freezing point. This is the meaning. Okay. Now see, what is freezing point? First of all, freezing point is that temperature at which its liquid and solid states have same vapor pressure. That temperature at which solid and liquid phases of a substance has same vapor pressure, that is called freezing point. Okay. So now if we are adding a non-volatile solute, then the freezing point will be low. Okay. So because this condition has to met. Okay. Now according to Raoult's law, when a non-volatile solute is added to a solvent, its vapor pressure decreases. This is known to us. Okay. And so now it would become equal to that of the solid solvent at lower temperature. Means when non-volatile solute we have added, then what is going to happen? We have studied that vapor pressure will decrease. Now if vapor pressure will decrease, then it means its solid state will come earlier, or we can say its solid state will come at a lower temperature. So it means the freezing point of the solvent will decrease. So we say it is depression in freezing point. Now with the help of diagram we can check it. If we plot vapor pressure versus temperature graph, then it is like this. See, this line represents solvent, this line represents solution, and this line represents frozen state. Now our pure solvent freezes at this temperature. This is the temperature at which pure solvent freezes. Now see, we will write it as TF naught. Naught stands for pure solvent, TF stands for freezing point temperature. Now this is the freezing point temperature of solution. So what happened? Now freezing point of pure solvent is higher and of the solution is lower. So this gap is called depression in freezing point. We will denote it with this symbol delta TF. Now delta TF will be equal to TF naught minus TF, always higher value minus lower value. So this is depression in freezing point. Now from experimental studies it has been observed that this depression in freezing point is directly proportional to molar concentration of solution. So it means delta TF is proportional to M, so delta TF is equal to KFM. Now this KF, just like KB was there in elevation in boiling point, similarly here it is KF. So KF is known as freezing point depression constant, or there are two other names. One is molar depression constant or cryoscopic constant. So sometime we are asked about define cryoscopic constant or molar depression constant. Then what we have to say, we will be writing that if molality is 1, then delta TF is equal to KF, or we can say molar cryoscopic molar depression constant or cryoscopic constant is equal to depression and freezing point for 1 molar solution. Now, how to calculate the molecular mass of solute by using this particular property? So, we will put the value of molality. Molality is this much as per definition, number of moles of solute over weight of solvent into 1000. So, this we will get. Now, here, okay, now see, don't confuse in this. Here what is written? W1 by 1000 means W1 is in grams, so we have converted it into kilograms. So here it is number of moles of solute, and this is weight of solvent in grams. Okay, so by using this equation we will come to this equation, M2 is equal to this much. So after knowing all the values and putting in this equation, we can determine the value of M2. Now one more thing we have to remember, there is one more formula with the help of which we can determine the values of Kf or Kb. Suppose it is Kf, then it can be determined by using this formula, R into M1 into Tf square over 1000 into delta H fusion. Delta H fusion means enthalpy of fusion. Okay, Tf is freezing point temperature of solution. M1 is molecular mass of first component. So first component is solvent. Okay, similar is the case for this. Here delta H fusion is replaced by delta H vaporization. Tf is replaced by Tb. So these are two another formulas where we can calculate Kf and Kb value. Okay, means we are using 4 factors over here: delta H, Tf, M and Kf. So out of these 4, any 3 are given, then the 4th one can be calculated. So it can be any one out of these 4. R value is constant, it is gas constant. Now on the basis of these equations, we can solve these two numericals. First is 45 gram of ethylene glycol is mixed with 600 grams of water. Calculate the freezing point temperature, depression and freezing point of the solution. Now whatever is given to us in that, ethylene glycol is, this is solute, okay, and this is solvent. So number of moles of solute, that is weight of solute over molecular weight of solute. From there we can calculate the number of moles of solute, and weight of solvent, this from this we can calculate it in kilograms. So number of moles we have calculated, mass of solvent we have calculated, so we can calculate the molality. Once we know the molality, this is delta Tf, okay. So delta Tf value is equal to Kf into M. So from here we can calculate the value, it is 2.2 Kelvin. Now we have calculated A part. A part is the freezing point depression. So we have calculated this much. Now second part is freezing point of solution. So this is not freezing point of solution, this is the depression and freezing point. So freezing point of solution is equal to freezing point of pure solvent minus depression and freezing point. So this will be the value. Similarly, we can do the next numerical. Here all the values are given, and we can put here. Sometime if in case we cannot remember the whole equation, then we have to start from here. Delta Tf is equal to Kfm. Okay, this way we have to start. Then we can put the value of M and we can calculate the desired thing, whatever is to be calculated. Okay. Now second concept is osmosis. Now see, in this phenomena, a particular layer, or we can say a particular membrane is used. That membrane is called semi-permeable membrane. What that semi-permeable membrane is? it appears to be a continuous sheet or film, but still it contains a network of submicroscopic holes or pores. Okay, and those holes are such that small solvent molecules can pass through these holes, but solute molecules cannot pass through it, and it is called semi permeable membrane, or we say it is SPM. Now when this movement occurs, just like in this diagram you can see, here we have taken pure solvent, and inside this Thissell funnel, this is called Thissell funnel. In Thissell funnel, this is Thissell funnel. In Thissell funnel we have covered it, or we have just attached firmly a semi permeable membrane at its top, and inside we have taken solution. Inside we have taken solution. Now when we do so, then here there is more concentration of solvent, and inside this there is less concentration of solvent. Okay, so solvent molecules will start moving from pure solvent to the solution, and suppose its height was this much in the beginning, it will start increasing because of movement of solvent molecules inside. Okay, so this phenomena is called osmosis. Now what is osmosis? The process of movement of solvent molecules through the membrane from pure solvent to the solution is called osmosis. Okay, now what is osmotic pressure? Osmosis is a phenomena and osmotic pressure is a property. Now the pressure that just stops the process of osmosis is called osmotic pressure of the solution. Osmotic pressure is a colligative property. Now why it is a colligative property? Because it depends on the number of moles of solute or number of solute molecules, and not on their identity. For dilute solutions, experimentally it has been found, now see what is the symbol of osmotic pressure? Pi. So mathematically it can be written as pi is equal to CRT. Here C is the molar concentration of the solution. So molar concentration means this is the property where we are not using molality, here we are using molarity. So pi is equal to CRT. Pi is osmotic pressure, R is the gas constant, and C is the molar concentration, T is the temperature. So when we put all the values, then by using this equation we can determine the molecular mass of solute, which is M2 is equal to W2 RT over pi V. Now here W2 is the weight of second component is solute, R is gas constant, T is temperature in Kelvin, V is the volume in liters, okay, and pi is the osmotic pressure. Okay, now see, with the help of this diagram we can understand more thoroughly how this is osmosis process occurs and how can we stop it. Okay, now see, we have taken two beakers, this one and this one. They are interconnected with the help of semi permeable membrane. Now when we put inside this solution and inside this solvent, then what is going to happen? Suppose this was the level in the beginning, okay, of solution, and this was the level of solvent. Then normally, under normal conditions, what is going to happen? Molecules of solvent will start moving from this side to this side, and its level will start increasing. Okay, now what we are going to do, whatever was the previous level of this solution, we will apply pressure from the top so that this level remains the same as was there in the beginning. Okay, now that pressure which we have applied that pressure which we have applied so that osmosis process stops. That pressure is called osmotic pressure. Okay, so how can we define osmotic pressure? The excess pressure or the external pressure which must be applied so as to stop the process of osmosis is called osmotic pressure. Now we come across three types of solutions: isotonic, hypertonic and hypotonic solutions. Now these are comparative terms. Okay, we cannot say that this solution is hypertonic and it will remain hypertonic forever. Not like that. We have to compare with the other solutions. In respect to other solution, we will say it is hypertonic or hypotonic or isotonic. So isotonic means when two solutions have similar osmotic pressure, then they are called isotonic. Okay, now if there is a solution which has higher osmotic pressure than the other solution, then that higher osmotic pressure solution will be termed as hypertonic in respect to the other solution. Okay, similarly hypotonic, if the osmotic pressure of a solution is less than any other solution, then that solution will be termed as hypotonic in respect to the other solution. Okay, now see here, with the help of example it is illustrated. The osmotic pressure associated with the fluid inside the blood cells is equivalent to that of 0.9% sodium chloride solution called normal saline solution. So it is safe to inject intravenously. Okay, so what is said, that osmotic pressure inside our blood cells, that is equal to 0.9% sodium chloride solution. So these two solutions will be termed as isotonic. Okay, now on the other hand, if we place the cells in a solution containing more than 0.9% sodium hydroxide, sodium chloride, water will flow out of the cells and they would shrink. Okay, now what we are saying, that if cell we have taken and we keep it in a saline solution where concentration is more than 0.9%, then what will happen? Our blood cell solution will become solvent and the other saline solution will become solution, and so solvent molecules will start moving. So from blood cell they will move towards the saline water and then it will shrink, and this solution, this blood cell liquid will be termed as hypotonic in respect to that saline solution, and that saline solution will be termed as hypertonic. Okay, so these are comparative terms. This we have to remember properly. Now let us solve one numerical on the basis of osmosis. Okay, now see here in this question, 200 cc of an aqueous solution of a protein contains 1.26 gram of the protein. The osmotic pressure of such a solution at 300 Kelvin is found to be 2.57 into 10 raised to the minus 3 bar. Calculate the molar mass of the protein. Now what all things are given? We are given the osmotic pressure value 2.57 into 10 raised to the minus 3 bar, volume value 200 ml. We can convert it in liters also. In case we are taking it in ml or cc, then we have to multiply with 1000. Temperature is given 300 Kelvin, R value is known to us. So putting all the values in the equation, we will get the molecular mass value as 61022 gram per mole. Okay, now where we can see the effect of osmosis in our daily life. Okay, first, when placed in water containing less than 0.9% salt, blood cells swell due to flow of water in them by osmosis. Okay, so blood cells swell if we place them in such saline solution where the mass volume percentage is 0.9%, less than 0.9%. So this happens because of osmosis. Now people taking a lot of salt or salty food, in case we take a lot of salt, then water retention in tissue cells and intercellular space because of, okay, so what does it mean? It means that if we are taking more salt, then water retains, it remains inside tissue cells because of osmosis. Okay, now what happens because of this? It results in puffiness or swelling, and this is called edema. Okay, similarly, water movement from soil into plant roots and subsequently into upper portion of the plant is because of osmosis. Okay, similarly for eatables, if we want to preserve meat or foods, then in meat what we do, we add salts, we salt it very properly, and for fruits what we add, sugar. So what it does, it protects from bacterial action. Okay, through the process of osmosis, what happens, a bacterium on salted meat or candied fruit loses water. When bacteria comes there on such salted meat or this sweet fruits, then what happens, it loses its water. There is presence of water inside this, it loses its water. Because of that it shrinks, and because of shrinking it dies. Okay, so this way it cannot develop. Now whatever we have done till now, on the basis of this you have to solve these assignments. Okay, thank you.